now at 5:30. The housing crisis has spurred a lot of new state laws, many of them designed to force communities to build more homes. But some Berkeley residents are wondering if the pendulum has swung too far. As John Ramos reports, new housing could come at the cost of a historic downtown landmark.
For decades, Berkeley stood in the way of building new housing, and now they're paying a price for it. With state law removing most local control, residents are just beginning to see what could be lost if they have no say in what's built or what's demolished. In 1919, silent film stars Charlie Chaplin and Mary Pickford made history when they founded United Artists, a movie studio that set out across California building its own theaters. The one on Shattuck Avenue in Berkeley opened in September of 1932 at a cost of $300,000 and was considered the most luxurious venue in the city. It could hold 1,800 people, and its grand lobby, staircases, and wall-sized frescoes reflected an Art Deco style popular in the opulent cinema palaces of the day.
The farther back you go, the more grand and, intricate it became.
Over the years, the UA Theater screened some of the most popular films in history. But in the 1970s, the multiplex craze took over, and the cinema was divided into 2, 4, 5, and finally 7 screens. But rather than just gutting the building, the owners partitioned the cavernous theater, preserving the gold-painted walls and ceiling, which can still be viewed by accessing a trap door. Greg King got a chance to see it in 2016.
We were able to gain access to the unseen portions of the building. It's fully there, all above the upstairs theaters, where there's a lowered ceiling, and it's completely preserved, all in gold and silver leaf, and it's basically just been hidden away and preserved for all these years.
But in 2022, the building's owner, Regal, sold the theater to a development company called Panoramic Interests, which will preserve only the Art Deco facade out front as the entrance to a massive new 17-story housing project featuring 299 homes, including studios and 4- and 5-bedroom units. The rest of the old theater will be demolished.
I'm brokenhearted. Berkeley is becoming something that I don't recognize anymore. Although I desperately want people to have affordable housing, if this building leaves, I don't know what Berkeley represents anymore.
Rose Ellis founded a group that's trying to stop the demolition, but even they are feeling pretty hopeless. The project is subject to new state mandates that pressure cities to create more housing and forfeit local control.
These new housing laws are overreaching in a very narrow aspect in preserving very, very important historical resources like the United Artists.
The residents would like to see the building preserved as a multi-use film and performing arts venue.
I grew up in Berkeley. I went to this theater. It was by far in the 60s the most spectacular theater in Berkeley. It's probably the most precious building in the entire city. It would be a shame to tear it down. It could be the jewel of downtown.
But on Thursday night, the proposal will go to the Zoning Adjustments Board, which has little choice under the law but to approve it. The residents say city planners blew it by not considering the theater's historical status when they proclaimed the project to be exempt from CEQA protection.
We don't understand how this exemption was granted, and the exemption just basically puts it on a glide path to approval and this theater to be destroyed.
The state is seeing to it that the housing shortage is no longer ignored. And because of it, the theater's fate may already be sealed, and Berkeley may soon lose another beautiful piece of its history.